Hello, Flosstube.
Greetings.
I'm Laura.
I'm Joe.
Welcome to the Slovak Farm.
This is the farm where we grow cross-stitch.
One stitch at a time. Today is Monday, April 14th. It is Holy Week, if you're Catholic, Christian. I don't know if other Christian denominations celebrate Holy Week like the Catholics do. It's marathon. Hopefully you all had a good week last week. I can't say it was the best around here.
Between medication issues and my vehicle yesterday, I am exhausted and cheesed off.
It's been a rough week. Can only get better from here.
Burn some white sage after the video. My luck has not been good lately.
It'll be fine. You know what? We're going to persevere and make it.
I know we're going to make it. I just want to know how much of my hair is going to fall out before we get there.
Amazonians. Oh, hey, I got a package from Amazon yesterday. I forgot about. It's nothing of stellar importance. It's just a new phone case because I'm tired of losing my dark phone case, so I got a light colored phone case. We'll see how that works.
Question. Will I get in trouble if I go, so, how'd that work out the next time you lose it?
Depends on how lost it is.
Oh, I would find it, hand it to you, and say, oh, how'd that work out for you?
Thank you, dear. Okay. Well,
At least I'd help you find it first.
not much to talk about because it's been kind of a rough week. Thursday was EGA day. That was a fun day for me. Not that I did anything great. We didn't have a project for the meeting. It was a presentation. Our EGA president, Marcia, her husband during COVID needed something to do to keep himself occupied, so he learned how to make purses, and he makes wonderful purses.
That honest, I have a very, very honest, and this is not meant to be mean at all, question.
What?
Does your husband have ADD? Because that so sounds like something with ADD, ADHD would do. Because it's like, I'm bored, sees a purse. I wonder how you make those. Next thing you know, that's literally how it works. You're bored, you see a purse, you see the stitching lines. Next thing you know, you're doing research, figuring out how to use the sewing machine. And you look at your wife and go, here, I made this for you. And
So, well, I can't answer that for sure, given his presentation. Yes, he probably does have ADHD.
Keep in mind, ADHD is not a superpower. It's a curse. I went 2 days unmedicated because of medication supply issues.
Like, I'm just tired of everything.
And those that watched us a few years ago, yes, the issue we had 2 to 3 years ago never went away. We just lucked out and the medication I was taking wasn't very popular. Well, because everybody else ran out, they went to this one. So now I gotta call my pharmacist a week before my prescription's due in order to figure out what she has in stock and then have the doctor change the prescription to match what she has in stock.
Which is as frustrating as it sounds.
ADHD medication is the highest level of medication you can get legally.
It's as frustrating as it sounds.
Because there's that many government regs behind it. So I can't... Fun thing I found out, you can no longer get a paper script for that. It has to be called in.
Oh.
So I couldn't do what I did a few years ago, get a printed out copy of the script and just go from pharmacy to pharmacy until somebody can pick it up for me. No, I gotta call around, find one that has it. They won't hold it for you. You gotta wait a day for your doctor to send the script and hope to the good Lord they still have some.
It's frustrating. Very frustrating.
My current pharmacist that's a saint. She's a flipping saint.
Our pharmacist
She would hold it.
Our pharmacist at our small town pharmacy is amazing.
Yeah, the nurse at the doctor's office says, yeah, I talked to your pharmacist. She's such a nice lady.
Like, they're putting a pharmacy in the grocery store that's like 2 minutes around the corner from our house. Nope, not gonna switch. I will only switch if she is actually the person that goes over there, but I don't foresee that.
Oh my God, that woman's the only pharmacist that place has.
I know.
Everybody else is a technician or an assistant.
Yeah, I'm not changing pharmacies. Moving along. I guess we can move along. I don't know. I'm tired. It's been a long. This trip's a long day.
This is what happened yesterday. I spent 4 hours fixing my car. We started home because I did it at my in-laws' house because they have a garage, and I was kind of opening the engine up. We get 5 minutes down the road. Thankfully, somebody suggested we get gas because as I'm turning into the parking lot to get gas, thankfully I was going slow, my brakes decided they wanted to act like it was the 60s. I had manual brakes, not ABS or power brakes. That was fun stopping. Went over to the AutoZone across the street. It started doing other things. So they threw codes, gave us ideas like, okay, well, I'll just call AAA. Almost 5 hours later, I was home.
Called AAA at 6:45 at night. The tow truck finally showed up at 11:45 at night. The tow truck company only had one truck on shift, and AAA only had one company on shift. I'm pissed at everybody all the way around, except for maybe the poor driver who was working his ass off.
That was a really good guy. He literally was like, yeah, I just got done an hour-long drive. Yours is a half hour, and then I have a 2-hour drive to do.
Yeah.
They have one guy covering 3 counties, maybe 4.
Yeah.
And they did say there were other options available, but by the time I brought it up, it was 11:15.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, this is ridiculous. It was. I'm pissed at AAA. I'm pissed at the tow truck company. I'm just excessively irritated with the whole situation.
Yeah, I tried not to bother her because I knew she had to go pick me up from the garage from the other place, so I didn't want her sitting out there with me. And finally, I said, "Come on out and because I was getting that tired." I literally sat in the dark for over 2 hours because that's how far past dark it was that they finally showed up. And let's just say small town business parking lots get really creepy at night, and they actually had lights on around me, and it was still creepy.
It's a small town. Everything starts shutting down, especially on a Sunday, like 7, 8 o'clock.
I'm surprised the people at the AutoZone, actually, the people at AutoZone and O'Reilly's, because I went to 2 different ones, because location, were both really nice. I had a lot of really auto parts people. I don't know why. It might just be where I am, but all of the auto parts stores around me, they're nice.
They are. I've never had someone be an ass or horrible going to one of the auto parts stores in the area.
Then again, I think most of the people that work at those places are not there for the paycheck. They're there for the employee discount.
Very well could be.
Because every time I talk to one of them, they either fix their own vehicles, fix vehicles on the side, or it's a hobby for them.
Yes.
Which is really good when you're trying to find random parts. But hey, I have everything I need to do an oil change at home now.
Yay.
Too bad might have the frickin' And I'll be using it in 3,000 miles because they're going to be doing the oil change tomorrow.
Hey, you've got it, so might as well do it.
Okay, well, Enough waffling about how life kicked me
Enough
in the...
waffling about life, wallowing in our own misery. Let's shout out our commenters on my birthday video.
Hi. Sorry, that's the best I got right now. Sarah, Teresa, Lynn, Bridget, and Andrea.
Thank you all so much for commenting.
Y'all are awesome.
Appreciate the comments. Somebody asked when I was starting the Crosswind Cricket Sunflower, whenever he decides it's time for me to start it. He's my start guru this
Honestly, it also depends on Daily 30.
Yeah.
Because, like, the last one you did, I literally got, like, all of the prompts on one project, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
We got one that was the last oddball that was a whip of choice.
Yeah.
And we're like, do that so we get it off the list and we can go back to everything.
Right. Forgive me. Yeah.
Which one is it the person wants? The big flower?
Yes, the big flower. So, I don't understand. There was... Anyways, I think I clearly do not understand how to count, apparently. No, I still have... No, I do understand how to count. I still have 3 more Mondays in the month. I have today, next Monday, and the Monday after.
Yeah, April's weird this year. This month. Yeah, this year.
It is, because May starts on a Thursday, which means the first Tuesday, the first Wednesday, and the second Thursday are all in the same week. Thankfully, I don't mean this the way it's going to sound, but I do mean this the way it's going to sound in a little way, but thankfully, the first Wednesday of May is actually the last day of PSR, so I can't go to MNG that night. I have to be at PSR that night.
Oh, and
so we will miss the May MNG meeting, so it's a little less running around.
No offense to those at MNG, but some of them made me laugh. Like, are you coming by yourself? And I gave them a look, and it's like, okay, not that answer, not that answer, not that answer. That's literally what went on in my head for like a solid 5 seconds.
Scott goes by himself.
Honey.
What?
I go there, and I'm a part of that because you need a ride.
Okay. Which reminds me, I also need to email Marcia about getting the copy of the pattern for the month, for the project. Okay. Squirrel, moving along. Alright, let's get to whips.
And chains excite me.
No. Okay.
Oh, forgive me. I am running on a very limited amount of sleep, which means my filter's tired.
I'm running out of sleep. Moving on. We started the week with my Star-Touched Meadow Sal. For the Sal prompt, I worked on the February Black, Violets, and Irises. I got exactly 300 stitches on it. I don't know how I did that. I'm talented. Here we go. This is on a piece of... I got it. This is on a piece of white 16 count Ada. Worked... I think I did a lot of the green. I don't really remember what I worked on at this point. There you go. You will have seen the start picture. You'll see, get a better look at what I have stitched on. Words are hard. Where'd it go? There it went. Then, for Temple, I can't remember her last name, Autism Awareness Month, I started that week for Daily 30. For the prompts for something that's calming, something with something round, and something with a farm, I started Romping in the Sunflowers by Lindy Stitches. I have to write down the actual name of it on the list. My cute little greyhound. Everybody at EGA thought this was absolutely adorable.
Because it is.
Well, it is. And I did 1,011 stitches, which got most of that top border of leaves done. This is on, I have no idea what count it is. I'm assuming it is 16 count. Just a random color that I did, I don't even know. So it's a solo. I got most of the leaves done here on this top border. The reason there's one missing is because 2 leaves is 1 length of the Weeks Dye Works Noel, like 2-stranded. So 2, 4, 6. I didn't feel like having half a strand of thread floating in the bottom of the bag. So that'll get done when I go to the bottom border. And then I've got the 3 sunflowers done. So, yay, team. A gorgeous start on that. Makes me very happy. We must add this to the whip list.
Why don't you whip?
I probably could put it in a bigger bag, but I didn't want to. Because this is the bag I had. So it's a little tight. Alright. And then for the last prompt for the week, I used my pass, my free pass for something related to a book. And then for my whip of choice, we went with Rosewood Mander's Winter Quaker, which was started in 2019 as a round robin, with my Friday Night Fun Night Stitching group. And took quite a while for it to finally get back to me because obviously we all know we started it in December of 2019. We all know what happened in March of 2020. Moving along. This is on a piece of 32 count Cleveland crud. I stitched 432 stitches this snowflake.
When you're done pointing, I'll move it closer to the screen.
Okay, I'm done pointing. The other snowflakes were done by my friends that I did Friday Night Fun Night with. I would actually like to get this out to a few of my other friends to get them to put snowflakes on it, but we'll see how that works out. I just think it would be fun to have a piece with a bunch of snowflakes from my friends. Yay, team. And then I pulled out Nativity to work on. I do not have the cover over here. I don't have a picture of the cover on my phone. Maybe I will remember to go download a picture of the cover off of my Facebook because it is in the monthlies. Hopefully I remember to do that. I might not. It is me after all. Hold please, because Joseph is missing. Okay.
There we go.
So, and having lost Joseph, I had to grab the cover, the bag with all the stuff in it. So, there's the cover of the Nativity. It is an old Janlin kit. It is a Cooler Design Studios pattern, and I believe you can buy the pattern not kitted up. Like, you can just buy the pattern from Cooler Design Studios. So, 616 stitches finished, Joseph. I just had to put the ground he's standing on and his back stitching in. So most of that 616 stitches was back stitching. Like at least 400 of it was back stitching. Hold, please. Okay, we're back. AAA called about the fact that it took 4 hours for them to get to us. Actually, that was kind of funny. We had
5.
5. We had just lamented about it, and then AAA was calling.
And yeah, I think she's actually more annoyed than I am.
Yeah. So I showed you Joseph. Joseph is done on Nativity. So then, in order to finish out the month, I had 2 prompts left, but I had I had 3 prompts left. Had my free pass from the pop-up, had my stitch discount from finishing last month's monthly, so I only had to do 400 stitches. So I did 424 stitches on a start on Mary. I have Mary and Jesus left to finish. And if you haven't figured it out at this point, I started with the biggest and I'm going to end with the smallest. I did intentionally save the Holy Family for last when I started it because I kind of wanted that. But now I am definitely doing it in largest to smallest order. So, my monthly Cruel Work acrostic monthly for Daily 30 is done, which means this is going
It's
by
the
for a little
14th.
while. Yes, I was able to get a lot done last week with Joseph. On Joseph, if you recall, I got a lot done because that was fairly chunks of color. So I am very glad that I am done with the monthly because it is Holy Week, and not only is Easter Sunday, the Friday after Easter, I have an event I'm running over at the church. So it's going to be a very busy 2 weeks.
Okay. Next section.
2 weeks. Next section would be haul, but I have no haul. So, sorry, I'm looking for something. Looking for a piece of paper. There it is. Look at that. We'll write this later. I need that so I remember what the name is. So, yeah, I have no haul. We are going to go into plans. Do you have any plans, darling?
Oh, God, no. My car isn't going to get looked at until tomorrow. I am a beyond nervous wreck. I don't think if I tried to stitch right now, I'd probably stitch myself into it.
Been there, done that. Both my shirt and my pants and my hair.
I was talking my finger.
Not
Through my finger.
quite done that, but I've definitely stitched my shirt, my blue jeans, and my hair attached to my head. That's why I wear my hair up when I stitch.
Okay, so what is this week?
So this week is Lego Week.
Please tell me this is a 500 week.
It's a 200 week.
Okay, we've already done one thing wrong with Legos. Legos should have been the most expensive week.
Well,
Legos are not cheap.
no, they're not.
The fudge.
Creepy van just drove by our house. I'm pretty sure it's a service work van, but it's got no labeling on it, so it's kind of creepy. All right. Well, let's start Legos off strong. Stitch on a whip with letters. There is one pattern in my to-be-started birthday starts.
Let's go through all of them real quick.
It has letters, but I also have other projects that have letters. So, what he said. Stitch on a whip that must be done to exact measurements and can't be fudged.
That exists?
That's most whips for me because I don't like to fudge stuff.
Okay, next.
Okay. Stitch on a whip of choice and tell us how many Lego sets you own. You don't need to tell us how many bricks. If you don't own any Legos, tell us how many whips you own. You have to answer one version of the question in order to get credit. Okay, so we can move on to the next. Stitch on a whip with a moon or a night sky. Midnight Sale's the only thing I have with a moon on it.
Next.
Christmas in Blue has a night sky on it. Okay. Stitch on a whip with flowers or plants. Or just a flower or plant, you know.
Okay, you know what? Fine. We're going to make somebody happy. For the fifth one, that.
Alright, so for flower plant, it is a flower a plant whip. So we're going to start that. Which means I got to go upstairs and grab the rest of the flosses.
Bonus points if you know where that laugh is from.
G-O-O-R. Alright.
Also, whip of choice.
This one, whip of choice, this one also would work for exact measurement.
I was going to say that one too, because you need the exact measurement for dyeing the fabric.
Yes. So, if you don't know what we're talking about with that, the fabric is two-toned and the camera washes it out. The top half is blue, the bottom half is green. The camera blows out the green. It just kind of washes the green. I have no way of fixing that at this point. So, yeah, it's kind of got to be done exactly. I got to figure out if there's like some indication on where exactly it's supposed to set in comparison to the green and the blue. I did mine. Theirs is about halfway. It's a little more blue than it is green. Mine is almost exactly halfway, so if it doesn't really matter, the middle point's going to be the middle. I don't think it's going to be a huge deal.
You know what? We'll do midnight sale for the one with the night sky.
Okay, and then I'll just use my pass for letters.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of glad it's only a 200 week. I know Legos deserves the bigger week, but it's a little bit gonna be a little bit easier.
Oh, that's more. That's not deserves. That's fits because Legos are expensive.
Yes, it's gonna be a little bit easier for me with the busyness of Holy Week and all of that. Which is also why I really pushed to get as much done on the monthly as I could. I also, the week prior to last week, whatever that week was, it was a 300 week, I was able to actually do my stitches pretty quick that week. That actually helped, because I was able to start my monthly stitching like on Friday, rather than on Saturday, just Saturday, Sunday. So, okay, so then, that leaves us with 2 more starts for birthday month, which is Glory Bees Happily Ever After. Why are we not focusing on things nice? There we go. And Needle Art World, Female Geisha Red. It is a printed kit, so it's called No Count Cross Stitch. It's a small printed kit, but so that's where we're at with those.
If they didn't mention plants, that was actually the one I was going to try to fit stuff for, because you really can't make a mistake with that.
No. But I'm glad you did pick this because precision. I mean, any one of my starts, honestly, you really don't want to fudge any one of them at this point, because this one with placement, the printed kit because it's printed, the words because letters look funky if you don't do them right. It would have worked for anybody. I forgot to water that guy. There's plants sitting here and I just realized I need to water him. I also need to clean under him because there's some dirt on the table. So that is everything for the week. We're going to go and take a nap.
I like that idea.
Take a nap. Thank you all so much for spending some time with us this week. What would we like the people to do?
Have a good night's sleep.
Take a nap.
Please like, comment, subscribe, bell notification, all the YouTube stuff.
Make the algorithm think we're popular. Thank you all so much for spending some time with us this week. We hope you enjoyed yourself. We hope you were entertained. We hope you have a great week coming up. We hope you have a blessed Passover if you are Jewish. You have a wonderful Easter if you are Christian. And have a great week if you are neither of those. Ramadan, yeah, I did say it right, was last month. I missed that. Okay. I don't know what other holidays there would be in the sphere of the area. So Have a great one. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, and we will see you next week. Bye.
Bye.